I got to be honest with you, man. When I heard that Jerry Jones and Micah Parsons were not on the field together yesterday.
Oh, you were like, deal, hammered out.
That's what has to happen.
Right.
What must happen, Micah's not there.
Right.
And Jerry's not there. Because they're on the phone with Micah's agent, and Jerry's got his people in the room doing what's supposed to be done, which is talking to each other.
Mm-hmm. Settle down just a little bit.
Settle down just a little bit.
Conventional way. Do you remember the story Charles Woodson told here on the program when he and Lloyd Carr grinded gears, and all Coach Carr wanted was an apology from Charles about whatever pissed Coach Carr off, and he refused to do it.
He was going to transfer.
He would not. He was going to transfer.
Yep.
He was not going to be allowed to play against the Ohio State. Lloyd didn't care. He was pissed, and the player needed to come to apologize to him, and Charles refused to do it. And one of his position coaches got his mom on the phone, and his mom said, "You go apologize to him. If not for yourself, then for me." And Charles was like, "Damn it,
that's a wrap at that point, bro. You're going right in.
Remember that story? It's one of my favorite stories that we've heard in the history of this program.
Great story.
You're going right in.
Doesn't that sound like that's what Jerry's waiting for? Whether it's right or wrong, he thought, I had a handshake agreement.
Jerry's going to be waiting a while.
Now, that's the point. Who's the one who's going to call Micah Parsons up and say, dude, at the end of the day, when you're cashing $45 million a year, does it really matter to you that you went and apologized to a guy that you really didn't feel you needed to apologize to? Does it really matter? And then, of course, you're sitting there going, why should the kid be forced at age 26, this lion of a kid, be forced to go into the owner? Because the owner's the one scratching the checks, and that's the way he does his business for whatever reason, and this is the boat that you are in. And I thought to myself, somebody kind of, and somebody go to Jerry and basically say, Jerry, kid's 26. These are different kids these days, you know? Different kids these days. So why do you, you go up to him too. Who can move these two together? And that's why I thought maybe that's what they were doing yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
But
I don't think you were alone. I think a lot of people were thinking that.
What has to happen is these guys need to get away, not in front of a camera, not standing there, talking it up with Andrew Whitworth, our buddy.
Yeah.
Away. Go on a retreat. Darkness retreat.
Take Jerry's big yacht
and hammer it out.
Come on, hang on the yacht.
Hour 2 coming up here in the program. Mike, very helpful. What yacht at Oxnard?
You think boats float around?
Not at Oxnard.
He probably could have it driven
There's
out
a
here.
beach in Oxnard. There's a
Oxnard's about an hour from here.
Guess what I'm not doing? I'm not going on a boat. You know what I mean? I keep saying it. Get your agent on the phone. Walk up to Jerry Jones and say, hey, Jerry, I know we haven't spoken yet. My agent's on the phone here. And he might be like, this is BS. What the hell are you doing here to me?
Somebody needs to be an adult. Like the Joe Flacco quote, be an adult.
Again, I keep being told by a bunch I'm talking to so many people about this, because when I come here, I just want to make sense, and I want to sound like I want to give you a general sense of what I'm hearing and be accurate, obviously.
Okay, then what is it
I don't
you're
care
hearing?
about, hey, I told you so. It is great when I can do that.
I'm about to say, you care a little bit.
But I'm telling you that I can't imagine this doesn't get done.
You keep saying that, and I'm hoping you're right.
And I've been told by some people, Mike is a different cat.
Mm-hmm. Money talks
and he is the type of guy
walks.
that is like, I don't care who the hell Jerry Jones is or anything like that. If I'm not getting the respect, I'm out. And literally, it doesn't matter how much money's on a piece of paper for that. And I'm hearing Jerry Jones is like, handshake agreement's a handshake agreement. I bought this team in a handshake agreement as if long forms don't exist. And, paper, right now, paper is getting, pens being put to paper or documents are being created right now on any business deal involving the NFL, whether it's with ESPN or any teams with the other players.
That's also part of the problem. Jerry still is operating like it's 35 years ago.
Right. And that Micah
there
and
you
Jerry
have
had
it, right there.
I've heard maybe
right there.
They had multiple conversations that resulted in a handshake, that they did in fact exchange some numbers, but the actual long form and.
Well, hello, good people and Eagle fans. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I have to be, I complain. I complain about Jerry Jones, but here's the reality. We have to be thankful for him because I don't know what other teams do for content. Because, see, we are literally...
Now, if you've been with us, you've seen the bus.
The whim of a madman. I like that.
We literally are at the whim of a madman. And so there's always craziness to talk about. And, if we were like, one of these other teams, I don't know how it would be. It'd be probably like crickets in here. Literally, crickets. Because... there'd be nothing to talk about. But before we get to everything that is everything, let's say hello to the Dina that is Gina, who's driving. Be careful out there, Gina. Lady Libra, your shirt is on the way, girl. It's on the way. Miss Gibson in the house. What's up, Miss Gibson? Oh, Michael Anthony Fitness Reaction Gig Economy. You are right about that one. Sador not looking bad so far. He's looking pretty good. But it's Miss Holly Pierce is always checking on me to make sure me and Miss Tracy are okay. Appreciate you. We got Kid Cowboy over on the other channel along with Thomas Garrett talking up a storm. Reshawn Stash, what's up? Cowboys, what's up? West Virginia Country Boy, how are you doing? Roland's Review, what's up, Roland? How are you doing? Alan Williams, Logan Motorsport. Drew's shirt is on his way to him. Not only that, the plaque for winning Game Times Brian's fantasy football or whatever it was is on the way for him too. Curtis is in the house. Jeff Lee, my name is Jeff. And Dirty Sanchez taking up the rear. Actually, I shouldn't say that, should I? But he's in first place here. So tonight, I got actually a little guest that's going to be coming on here in a few minutes and things. He is a mouth that roars, and a bit of a potty mouth, because he'll cut you out in a minute. But we're definitely going to be getting another old hat, okay? I consider myself one of them old hats. Actually, I don't ever wear a hat. I don't know why I said I'm an old hat. I'm just old. I turned 60 in October. And with this other gentleman who's 50, between the two of us, we got 100 years of Dallas Cowboys fandom. So, it might put you to sleep. It might, because we old. But it's going to be a different perspective of things that have happened with the Dallas Cowboys in the past and this madness that we have right now with Jerry Jones. So we know that Jerry is living in the past. I have looked up. See, look, I'm a little old myself. I can't even think of the words. Senility, okay? Senility. Kid Cowboy. How you a kid in 59, buddy? Shout out to you, Kid Cowboy. And before I get in too deep, Sador Sanders is starting some shit. Take Cowboys in the house. Sador Sanders is starting some shit out here with 2 touchdown passes. Now, I know it's just preseason, it's preseason game 1, but we were told how bad and awful he is. Well, you know what? For the Cleveland Browns, bad and awful is always something that happens with quarterbacks there. By all stretches of the imagination, he looks pretty good for a Cleveland Brown quarterback. I tell you what, he looked a lot better than the guy they gave $230 million fully guaranteed. I can tell you that much. All right, so a couple of things. Nate Jones, offensive lineman, who the Cowboys had brought in for experience, played well in Miami, who had actually supplanted Tyler Booker for the starting spot, who broke a bone in his freaking neck. Okay? You got to have NFL Plus to see the Cowboys tomorrow night. Mike, I think didn't we get NFL Plus? Mike, remind me, because see, I'm here. It is NFL Plus. I better make sure I got that shit. Last time I was there in the stadium for it, so let me double. And Peacock, them mother humpers. I got an email that said Peacock said, "Oh, by the way, we're going from $7.99 to $13.99." And you know how many times I watched Peacock since the game last year? I think once. So now it's $13.99. That's the NFL screwing us. Okay? That's them screwing us. Look at that. Sador is doing it up. Now I forgot. Oh, Nate Jones, who broke a bone in his freaking neck. Asia Robinson in the house. What's up, Asia? Where you been, girl? Where have you been, girl? Nate Jones, who broke a bone in his neck, and the Cowboys that are always overly optimistic when it comes to injuries, they always say, hey, it's 4 weeks, and it ends up being like 12. Nate, they said 2 to 3 months with a broken bone in his neck, and I'm like, he's got a broken bone in his neck? And you're telling me it's going to be 2 months? He's got a broken freaking neck, and you're telling me 2 months? Jay Smooth, welcome. We got a new channel member. Shout out to Jay Smooth. Jay, email me, cowboysmark94@gmail, because we'll get you your Jobu shot glass as well as your football, because Cowboys are going to make you drink. And you need your squeeze football because you're going to be stressing out with this team. You just are. It's just a fact. But the broken bone in his neck has landed him now on injury reserve. His season is done for the year. So there's that. Our running backs are all beat to hell. Everybody's nicked up. We've signed Malik Davis back, who's got 161 yards in his career. And he's plug and play. They signed him today. They plugged him, and he's going to play tomorrow. And as always, we're in the exact same position, and this is what I can't wait to talk to my buddy about here. Has anything changed from last year to this year? That's the real question. Has anything changed? We stink at running the football. Our defensive line has got question marks. Our secondary is broke down. The next question that I have of my guest is Brian Schottenheimer holding everything to the vest and keeping everything vanilla because we are an open society with Jerry Jones and the Dallas Cowboys having every practice open that everybody can see everything that you do. And is that hamstringing the Cowboys in practice? These are real questions. And, of course, Philly D in house. What's up, Thomas Garrett? What's up in it, Thomas? Logan, I trolled a Dallas Cowboy channel. She put me in my place. Yeah, Mark, I said the same thing with Peacock price increase. There's no reason to increase it unless it's because the NFL season. Right. It's literally, a month away from the season. Oh, we're going to go up by $5. What? Seriously? Tierra. What's up, Tierra? Welcome, Tierra. Glad to see you here. Did I get you take, Cowboys? What's going on? Quarterback coming? Sneak coming? Nope. No quarterback sneak. So, Sador having one hell of a night right now. The Browns up 20-7 over Carolina. But Carolina, does this really count as a game? Rhonda, help me, Rhonda. Shout out to Rhonda. I haven't seen my girl in a while. Tierra, my best friend on YouTube. Love her. Okay. All right. Get a room. Looking more short, but I can't watch Lions and Falcons game at Philly D. I have Sunday ticket or I can't watch every other Sunday. Okay. All right. So my question to you guys are, how are you feeling about what you're seeing so far? I feel like the Cowboys are going to go in one of two directions. Somehow they're going to be really, really good, or they're just going to be completely asked. I don't think that we're not looking like an 8 or 9 win season. It's either going to be like 7 wins or it's going to be like 10 plus. I don't think there's any middle. Stop, Mark. What do you stop? What Philly? Oh, get a room. I'm just saying. You said you love her. You said you love her. Dwayne Sweeney says not good. Jay Smooth. Oh, what's Jeff? Hey, here, let me put it in here. Casey's back in the house.
Oh, yes, it's ladies' night. Oh, what a night. Oh, what a night.
Here you go. That is the email. Oh, man, that's not 04. It's not. Damn, I mistyped it. Shit. There we go. Cowboys Mark 94 Gmail. There we go. All right, where is my guest? Okay. You got it? Hold on, let me check and see where he is. Make sure, because I think he's on West Coast time. Make sure he understands it's at East Coast time. Okay. Don't know where my guest is. Well, damn. Now go ahead and name 2 or 3 outliers in the history of football. It's first-round quarterbacks that don't play like this. You are right. That is a good point there, Lord Van. Sador had 118 in the first half. And I bet you that there's a lot of teams right now that are looking and saying, damn, why didn't we draft this guy? Chilling, watching City, okay. Okay. Waiting here for my guest. I guess he didn't get it. Hold up. Hang on for 1 second. Okay. All right. I sent him a message, see if he's got it. Okay. Not sure what happened, but he's not there. Okay. So let's get back to where we are with Micah Parson's situation. Here's my thought. Because, this whole situation has just been retarded. Okay. I mean, let's be real here. There is no reason whatsoever for us to be going through what we are going through. It's not like the Joneses, that they held out with Zach Martin, and said, hey, Zach, you're not going to get any more money. We sat there and we waited until the 14th of August before he got signed, and they still gave him the raise. It's not like CeeDee Lamb that, by them waiting to get this contract done, that they got a better deal from CeeDee Lamb. He was the second highest paid player. What word do you hate, Logan Motorsport? What word is that? I'm trying to. There's so many words that I say. What word is it that you hate? Because if you're an Eagle fan, you hate it. I might use that word more often. I didn't think I cussed because I'm trying not to because of my dad up here. Okay. Rhonda, help me, Rhonda. It's not like CeeDee Lamb that we got a better deal because we held out. And there's not a single time that I can think of that the Cowboys have had their big name players that they've held out and not paid them until the last minute that it was a positive. You looked and said, well, man, that was a brilliant move. There's not a single time, period. And I can't believe that the Dallas Cowboys organization looks and says, hey, this is the way to go with Micah Parsons. I can't believe that everybody in the facility believes this is the right move. Jay Smooth. All right, we'll get you, and I'll forward it to Michael Anthony Fitness Reactions, Gig Economy, and he'll get you your shot glasses stuff. Appreciate you becoming a channel member. I can't believe that everybody is like going along with this, except for what I remember Jerry Jones saying. When 105.3 The Fan last year, when Sean Sharif kind of was asking Jerry Jones some very pointed questions, he was basically giving them the riot act and saying, people that I write checks to don't question my authority. Jerry Jones focused on winning the deal while Philly and Washington focused on winning rings. Unbelievable. Hector, I can't say that you're wrong. I can't say that you're wrong at all in that one because, oh, shit. Okay. All right. My guest won't be here. But that's okay because he got a big promotion and he's out celebrating. So the old heads will get together at another time. Shout out to you. If you end up watching this, my man, congratulations. Way to go. Okay, so we'll get back to being here with just us. Stacey White. All the ladies are in the place tonight. Okay, so everybody has to be scared of Jerry Jones. And Jerry Jones has turned into Al Davis. Now, follow me if you can. Now, again, my mind has gone all over the place on here. Whether or not Micah is really just saying, F the Cowboys, I want to be out. But I look at that and say, really, Micah? Because I know the Cowboys are full of drama and the things that they've done with you. But in reality, I don't think you'd be president of the Bleacher Report if you were with Tampa Bay. I just don't. That all of the things that have happened to you, the popularity, everybody being there watching your contract and stuff. Because, you know, Terry McLaurin, I ain't seen anybody there covering Terry McLaurin the same way Micah is. I don't see anybody covering, James Cook in Buffalo. I don't see Henderson with Cincinnati. I don't see, because you can bet one thing. You can bet that tomorrow when the game is happening, there'll be a Micah camp. They'll probably put picture in picture of Micah Parsons and cover everything that he does. They will be a picture in picture of Jerry Jones. They will talk about the whole situation. When I watched the Baltimore Ravens and Cincinnati last night, I don't remember them talking about the holdout. I don't remember. I'll be honest. Now, I didn't really watch the whole game, but I watched enough to know they weren't showing that situation like I know they're going to show and talk about Micah Parsons. Right? So, Micah, if you go elsewhere, I don't know that your popularity will be as big. There have been other great players that are defensive ends on other teams that aren't getting the kind of love that you do because of the drama that is. And I can see it now because you see what's going on. You've got Diggs with his YouTube channel, setting the record straight about his injuries. You now see CeeDee Lamb has got, his, YouTube channel. Can you see that next year that Micah Parsons will have probably a Netflix documentary about the off season of his discontent trying to get this deal done? It almost feels like it's fake. Well, I'm not going to say fake. No, let me rephrase this. Like it's meant to build up. Doesn't this feel like WWE? Now, on the other side of this, maybe, because I've been trying to think every which way this could go. Maybe it is, Micah is flustered, and he's like, that's stiff. The Prince down there in Jacksonville, that jackass, that overrated mother humper who was drafted ahead of me, that this guy was drafted ahead of me and ain't busted a grape, sucks. He got paid early last summer. He got all last summer to spend his money. He got all of this summer to spend his money. Here it is. I might finally get my contract, but I'm locked into doing football 6 days a week. I do have my podcast. And how am I going to go out and spend my money? I can't. I'll get a big fat check. But damn, all these mother humpers have gotten paid. I see Jake Ferguson, hey, he's my dog and everything else, but Jake got paid. I see Osin Digazua came in after me. He got paid. Everybody got paid. But me. CeeDee Lamb got paid. Dak got paid a second time. And here it is. Not only have I not gotten paid, I am getting disrespected. Man, I'm getting in my feelings. I want to get the hell out of here. Now, here's the problem. Unfortunately, Micah Parsons doing that had the effect of delaying the situation. Okay? Jerry Jones is a rich man. Okay? Rich men right now are kings. And you can't disrespect the king and expect the king to bend and yield to your desires. Right? So Micah has a hissy fit. And all that. Jerry Jones can't come run and say, okay, let's get this contract done, because then it sets a precedent. It's already bad enough that he knows that, this is about the time that you say, Zeke who, or we're not going to reset the market, or it's not urgent to get this deal done. This is Jerry Jones. See, Jerry Jones had to respond. He had to go through and say, we had a deal, he reneged it. And you know what? he might not play to try and save faith. Okay, save face. Okay, so that's why that thing had to blow over. And see, with the news cycles being the way they are, we forget shit that happened yesterday. Seriously. I still can't, I think back to 6 months ago that an airplane hit a helicopter in the Potomac River. I forgot that was 6 months ago. There was the plane in, was it Indian Air or something or other, that plane that took off and hit a building. Doesn't that seem like that was years ago? So we forget stuff. So by now, we've moved on from Micah Parsons talking about a trade and putting out all of the things that didn't happen with David Melangetta and stuff right now, right? Now we're sitting here talking about, Micah didn't show up for practice. Micah Parsons got a back injury and getting treatment, right? And we got Rob Jones with a broken bone in his neck, and then all of our running backs are injured. You kind of forgot about that whole blow-up of last weekend. So now is when you can start working on getting the contract together. So what we heard Okay, what was being reported, I can't verify it. I can only go by what others have said. If Micah didn't mention trying to do deals with me without my agent, they would have had a deal by now. I think you might be right about that, Lord Vaughn. You might be 100%. They blame every loss on him and the quarterback. Well, that's another part of this situation here too, because Jerry Jones, you know, my beautiful bride, just come upstairs and she's getting ready for bed. So I might want to end this thing early. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Jerry Jones needs to own up to his part of the Cowboys' problems. I keep hearing, well, I paid this guy, I paid that guy. Well, maybe you didn't pay the right ones. Or maybe you didn't pay enough of those guys. Because there's no guarantee about anybody. You don't think that the Chargers are like, oh, fuck. Rashawn Slater, ruptured patella tendon, not even a week after paying him, he's gone. That's part of doing business in the NFL. No way you could sign him last year. No, his agent was waiting for all the leaves to fall. But here's but Kid Cowboy. I'm not going to agree with that, because you don't know. You honestly don't know. See, this is the Joneses' stupidness, and it just reminded me again. I don't understand, for somebody who probably had a flip phone recently, why it is they don't want to have phone calls with people. I believe it was the Lions called the Cowboys about trading for DeAndre Swift. And Stephen Jones was like, who? Who? Oh, okay. I'll call him back. Never called him back. I believe you had somebody by the name of Bobby Wagner who was interested in coming here before he went to San Francisco and then to Washington and things and back to Seattle, who was interested in coming here, and the Cowboys wouldn't pick up the phone to talk to him. I believe it was the Dallas Cowboys that literally had Von Miller begging them to talk to him about coming here, and they wouldn't pick up the phone. I believe Derrick Henry bought not at one house, but a second house in Dallas and was talking about wanting to play in Dallas, and they refused to pick up the phone. Do they not know how to use a phone? Did Jerry Jones lose his flip phone and doesn't know how to make a phone call? Because at least if you got David Magenta on the phone and he comes up with a crazy-ass number, you could at least say, well, El Paso on that, and hang up the phone. At least you got a basis to know what's going on. If you literally keep trying to die on the sword or fall on the sword of, well, I had to deal with Micah, so I'm not going to talk to the agent, you can say to the agent, hey, bro, here's what we talked about right here, and we can try and negotiate between us. Okay? Here's how far we'll go. For all we know, when they said 18 months ago, when Micah Parson said 18 months ago, we'd like to get this deal done, and they said, well, we're too busy right now with Dak Prescott's and CeeDee Lamb's. We'll get back to you on that. Okay, that was 18 months ago, people. 18 months ago, they said, let's get talking. And you haven't called them in 18 months? I wouldn't be surprised if Jerry passes away. He's going to make a documentary called Weekend at Jerry's with two morons. Oh, my God. No, Dirty Sanchez. Oh, Dirty. Oh, my God. No, you didn't.
Money, 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 money.
Not Weekend at Jerry's. Not Weekend at Jerry's, Dirty. Oh, my God. Shout out to Dirty Sanchez. Dirty, I forgot to text message you, bro. I need to know what shirts you want. I need and your size and your address, okay? Because you are our winner chicken dinner, and I need to get Miss Tracy to take care of making you your shirt. Now, see, I'm wearing one of her classic ones. Fire the GM, because he needs his ass fired, okay? Marcus, come on, bro. You don't really believe that with all what's going on. Okay, again, Leo, we're picking my brain with all of the different thoughts, okay? My brain is basically having diarrhea out my mouth right now with everything that's been going on in my head about this situation and every which way that I think it could be. None of it makes any sense. None of it makes any sense, okay? But it's craziness. Because here's my problem. Right now, and again, oh God, my brain hurts. This is like jumping all over the place. Our practice against the Rams, a couple of things were evident. It looked sloppy. Dak, CD, and George Pickens look good. Running game is questionable. And the defensive line is still problems. So the three problems we had last year, running game, offensive line has got question marks, and defensive line. I don't know that we're in a better position than we were last year, with the exception of Dak is in a better position. And we have another better receiver. Those two things are an improvement. And we got more edge rushers, so I guess that's an improvement as well. Our secondary is still beat up, although I believe Diggs is close to returning. In fact, that's another one of these things. See, ego gets in the way of winning for the Cowboys. Because I think Diggs, remember last week we saw Diggs running around and doing a somersault? You saw that, right? And he's running around and things. He's really close to being back, right? Which for the Dallas Cowboys is a bad thing. Do you know why it's a bad thing? Because they've been up on here preaching that Diggs is screwed up. He's not a team player. He's been, he's not working hard enough to get back on the field. He hasn't progressed as far as he should be. He'd be further along if he had been here in Dallas with our training staff working out. But he is lazy. He is not working. He's not in shape. He's not ready to play. He's been looking pretty good on the sidelines. And if they turn around and say, okay, he's ready to go, then it screws up the whole narrative of taking his $500,000 away and denigrating him about all this stuff, right? So you saw Stephen Jones kind of, hey, yesterday give him a hug and everything else, talking to him and stuff. He's ready to, I think he's chomping at the bit to play. And if he is, that makes him look bad. And then it brings up the idea of maybe part of the problem with the Cowboys, some of it is the training staff. Remember when the NFLPA did the survey with the players and they were rating the coaches, the organization and everything else? Cowboys got great marks on the players on everything but the training staff. So are the players questioning the training staff and what they're doing? I know we had a hell of a lot of injuries last year. They weren't good at keeping the players on the field. Savon Ravel, who's been working at the facilities, had a setback. So instead of him being maybe close to starting the season, they were talking about 2-3 months. Man broke a bone in his freaking neck. They said 2 to 3 months. Now it's injured reserve, right? Tyler Guyton, they immediately said, oh, it's a torn ACL. And then it came back, oh, no, it's actually a bone bruise. Diehard Philly fan here. Gabe, I heard you about from Sills. Even though you're the opposition, I appreciate your coverage of the sport. Keep it up and good luck. Thank you, Gabe. I appreciate that, man. And you are right. We're going to need some luck. Appreciate that super chat there, Gabe. I don't know what happened with Sills this week because Sills Usually either Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. Hey, brother, you got time? You can literally see this big smile on his face. You got time, brother? Because, he wants to come in. Lions game suspended. Mark players taken. Ooh. Damn. You never want to hear that, man. Thanks, Jimbo. Shedeur Sanders being interviewed here, looking excited and happy. That's going to be an interesting thing now is after this preseason performance where he's actually looked pretty good. What will be the narrative? Will he still be the fourth-string quarterback? Will he be moving up the chart? Or will they still be talking about, we never want to draft a guy? Yes, Jake from State Farm and Jake Ferguson is okay. He has the back contusion, which basically is a bruise, and was back at practice, so he looks okay. Curtis says, great work on the shed. Yeah, the shed looks pretty good. I'm actually working on wiring it up so that way I got some electricity out there. Mark, it's not making noise about how Tyler Booker is going to beat Jalen Carter. Well, here's another one that's kind of deja vu from last year. Kinda. Remember 105.3 The Fan was originally talking about Tyler Guyton last year, and they said he's really raw, and they don't look at him to be starting the season as the starter. Chuma Igoda was actually practicing as the starter last year and probably would have started the season had he not gotten injured. He got injured, and it ended up being that they ended up having to go through and move Tyler Guyton up, and Tyler Guyton wasn't ready. With Rob Jones was looking so good that it ended up pushing Tyler Booker to second string. In fact, Rob Jones was doing a lot of work with Tyler Booker, helping to coach him up and things. And they were like, man, this is great. Even though this is a guy who's chasing his position, he's working to try and make him better. So there had been a little bit of trepidation on him being ready to start. Now, he's a big guy. We've seen him pushing the little kid. We've heard him talking, calling out Jalen Carter and stuff. Now you have to wonder, how good will he be out the box? You're a rookie going against grown-ass men for the first time, and it's going to be season opener in Philadelphia where it's going to be loud. It's going to be tough. And now you got Tyler Guyton, who has the bone bruise. He's going to miss all of training camp. Who knows if he's going to be starting? We got Big Nate, not to be confused with Nate Newton. Who knows where we're going to be with the offensive line? And then we look at our running game. Sanders got the sprain. Jaden Blues got the heel bruise. Javonte Williams, I forgot what he's got. Hell, even Deuce Vaughn, who we looked at and said he's not going to make the roster, even he's nicked up. So you look at this and say, who the fuck is running the ball? Sorry, Dad. I'm sorry. Who's running the football? So we've got all that going on, which has been overshadowed by Micah Parsons, who maybe Wednesday night when they supposedly talked for 4 hours and supposedly had David Magenta on the phone or Zoom called or some way in on the conversation, maybe they finally said, okay, cooler heads prevail. Let's work on getting this thing hammered out. The other thing, and people have said I've stole content from it, okay? And I'm going to say there's so much shit that's going on that everybody will go through and come up with ideas. And I can say, I mean, I come up with shit. Maybe somebody else comes up with the same shit. But the other thought in my head was, with Micah Parsons understanding media, we all know controversy sells, right? Could Micah Parsons be playing this thing up too with Jerry Jones? Here's what I can say. If Micah Parsons were to do a podcast right now, that shit would break the internet. You know it would. Micah Parsons knows what he's doing. Oh, Rhonda, you know who. You know who. I should be flattered by that guy because his whole life is following everything that I do and everybody around me. There you go. And now, Jimbo, now you've hit the nail on the head. But, Jimbo, you have to ask yourself, one, is it just because Jerry Jones is an egomaniac who's now gotten old and crazy and now has Al Davis-itis, and everybody is too scared to say anything because they know they'll get fired? JD Sports, Sador Sanders breaking the internet, unreal fame. You ain't lying about that one. You got 31 teams saying, damn, you mean I could have picked him up with like a 4th-round pick? Shit. Yeah. And you see, they showed Deshaun Watson. Look, what do you have, 2 touchdown passes today? Or was it 3? Deshaun Watson, after $230 million, I think had 19 TD passes for him. In 3 seasons. In 3 seasons. Yeah. The guy that literally said that the house was going to collapse on me and I was never going to get it finished. And I think lately has been saying it won't get on the National Registry. Oh, I forgot. Actually, I got a visit next week from the Department of Historic Resources here about getting put onto the list. So there's that. But anyway, that's another possibility. It's not like the Cowboys have done this where they've gone through and they've traded a player that's a star. They don't do that. They keep their players, their good players, till they can't play anymore, and then they let them go. That's their MO. Poor kid was blackballed. No mark. Sanders is going to make the haters pay. Bank it. That's okay, George. Yep. You got it, Jimbo. Great work. What's your thoughts on CD's comments on Cowboys secondary? Gilmore's time. There's JD Sports. There's 2 ways to look at that. CeeDee Lamb was asked, is anybody on the Cowboys defense in the secondary giving you hell? Nope. Quite frankly, nobody's giving me hell. That either says that CeeDee Lamb is just so far and away better than everybody else, or maybe our secondary is suspect. I hope it's the first. But it might be a little bit of both. Sanders is going to be a player. Brownstone wants to bring him to Dallas. Jerry wants Micah to honor the agreement they made. But okay. But here, I understand that too. But I'm going to just say, sorry, Jerry, you're full of shit. Nobody negotiates a deal with a handshake for a $200 million contract. And if you do, you're crazy. Jerry Jones is still living back. Okay, here's the real problem. Here's the real problem with all this is Jerry Jones is literally thinking back to when I bought the Cowboys, I had a handshake deal. That's how it worked, okay? I had a handshake deal. I got this thing. I made a whole bunch of money. I took Emmitt Smith, and I didn't want to pay him, so he held out. He held out for 2 games. Charles Haley got pissed off, took his helmet through a locker, okay? And I paid him. But because I did that, we won the Super Bowl. So he in his mind thinks, well, you know what? If I don't pay Micah Parsons and everybody throws a hissy fit, we'll win the Super Bowl. Bro, the shit you did before don't work anymore. It changed. And the same reason that you fired Tom Landry, the game had passed him by. The game had passed him by, and you had to do things differently. Well, Jerry, there's a salary cap now. Jerry, these players aren't the same players that they were before. This game is not the same game. Because your whole thing here, here's where it really screws us up is basically because of Jerry and Stephen Jones waiting to get these deals done, it gets you a season behind. Now, we focused in on Micah Parsons this whole time, right? In the same way when Micah Parsons' agent said last year, hey, 18 months ago, let's get working on this thing. Well, we're kind of busy right now with CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott. We'll get those squared away, then we'll get to you. So now, the whole offseason and training camp has now been tied up with Micah. You know we're going to be doing the same thing with Tyler Booker next year, right? I'm sorry, Tyler Smith and Deron Bland, right? You know that, right? That next year will be the exact same thing with those guys. We should be working on getting those deals done right now and saving us some money. And so we're constantly behind the 8 ball. And Jerry Jones doesn't recognize or doesn't care that all these things are setting us back. And that's the reality of it. Other part on this I was sitting here thinking about is this. As much as I love seeing the highlights from practice, you know, shout out to my man Law Nation and things out there, getting the interviews with the players and showing clips. All of the Cowboys media that are there, you know, showing the highlights and everything that they do. If you're Brian Schottenheimer, this actually hamstrings you in actually practice. Appreciate you listening, Rhonda. This actually hamstrings you because in the same way any Cowboy fan can go watch and sit in the stands for free or pay their $22 and can be on the sideline there, or anybody can watch the highlights, you don't think that other teams are watching highlights from practice or have people there watching? So if you're Brian Schottenheimer, things that you may really want to do, you know, you've got some innovative plays and things that you want to practice. Oh, Derek G., you ain't lying. I didn't even touch on that one, but you're right. If the Cowboys and Jones are smart, they better figure out how they can keep George Pickens. I forgot to put that into the mix for next year, too, because that's going to be there, too. But I think George Pickens is okay with the whole idea of, you know what, I'm going to bet on myself. JD Sports, Marks, check my comment. Mark, 3 players to look for tomorrow. I'm going to say Booker, Tolbert, Sam Williams have to play well. I'd agree with you on that one. I would say Mozzie, but Mozzie doesn't. I probably won't play because he's nicked up. Jalen Tolbert, he's still listed as the number 3 receiver, but watch out. Actually, Jonathan Mingo may be one that I really want to watch, and also Marshawn Nealon, because Marshawn Nealon has been kind of forgotten about, but Marshawn, Sam, of course. Sam Williams. I love Sam Williams. When Sam Williams was drafted, you know, he's 6'4", he was running like a 4.5 40, right? 260 pounds, big, strong, and fast. But he never seemed to put it together with that talent that he had on the field. Now, last year, of course, he was injured. But he always had a little bit of Randy-esque in him, where he would make a boneheaded mistake. And so yesterday, he ended up hitting Jake Ferguson. That's how he got the contusion, was Sam Williams hitting him in the back. It's like, oh, Sam, come on, man. But Marshawn Nealon is definitely one. Jonathan Mingo and, of course, Booker will be ones that I definitely want to watch. Damn, prayers for that guy. Yeah, we'll definitely have to check on the player. Yeah, you're 100% right. But here's the other side of this, though, Thomas. is the drama and everything else also is what makes you popular. Stacey White, we can't have nice things. Huge waste of time. Micah needs to be on the field. Feels like a season is dying before it starts. No Micah, no defense. Stacey White, you are 100% right on that one. Shout out to Stacey. I think Stacey, I can't remember if you're one of the ladies or not. So if you are one of the ladies, shout out to you. If you're not Stacey, oh Lordy. Mark, you in denial. That 4-hour meeting yesterday was bad. It was a breakup. Be happy, though. You'll get lots of picks. Hey, Philly, I'm curious. Dan didn't call me. Were you on with Dan on Wednesday? I figured that he would definitely want to talk to me and, maybe he feels bad for me. Is that what it is? He feels bad? But appreciate your money, Philly. Yeah, tomorrow we got a game. I'll be real. Philly, I'll be real with you, man. This whole Micah situation has actually stolen a lot of thunder from me. One. Whenever the Cowboys would always have a lot of drama or something would happen, my dad would pick up the phone and call me and say, man, what the hell's going on with the Cowboys? And I would have to say, well, Dad, here's how it's working, and here's what it really means and things. And, are we going to be able to win any games? Okay. You say, I got to bet your brother again, because he's the Commander fan. I got to bet. Do I have a chance against them at least? I say, don't worry about the Commanders. We got them. You'll be okay with those bets. I said, I can't guarantee all the other ones. But with all this drama that's going on, this is where I kind of really miss my dad, because we would be talking about this bullshit. And the more this bullshit goes, the less I really, I really just feel like checking out on it. It's just like, just wake me up when this thing's done and we're ready to play some football. But yes, Philly, it's 27 days until we play you, okay? And you've got all the advantages. Your team, instead of sitting here trying to sign one player, you're looking at it and saying, you know what? My secondary sucks ass. Let me see what I can do about it. Whereas my team says, hey, we don't have any running backs. Let's go get Malik Davis. He's got 161 yards. So, yes, we suck. Tim, you're right. 100%. You're right. It was actually Kenneth Murray who hit Jake Ferguson. But still, Sam Williams has done some stupid shit too, okay? I'm getting old and forgetful. Philly 500, I want to feature you in my weekly Celebrity Cats and Their Family Humans. I need your email, correct? Okay. My team looked good. Okay, it's preseason game number 1. And did you play your starters? They didn't. Here's what's funny there, Philly. Couldn't get the game here. It's not like anybody cared. They didn't make it a national game. You slapped your husband for watching Philly 500's channel? Damn. Jerry knows he made a mistake by making Dak the highest paid NFL player, so he's being cautious with Micah. Well, whose fault is that? Whose fault is it for making that contract right there and stretching it out? See, here's my thought as we get ready to get out of here. I said, first part of the offseason, when Micah was saying, listen, I ain't got to be the highest paid. I just want to get paid and get this thing done. And the Cowboys looked at that and said, well, we got all kinds of time in the world here. We can waste our time. Micah, he doesn't care about being the highest paid, right? And for Jerry Jones to sit here and say, we had a deal back in March. Well, bro, hate to tell you, Max Crosby got paid. Myles Garrett got paid. T.J. Watt got paid. That deal that you had in March, is dead. It's dead. If you had a deal in March, then you should have signed it in March. If you thought you had it, then you should have been pushing Micah. Hey, Micah, that deal we had, get your agent on the phone and let's get this thing done. Don't say we had it. You didn't follow through on it, Jerry. So shut up. It's done. It's over. And move on. So, with that being said, I'm tired of rehashing all the Micah Parson shit. And tomorrow night, we have a game. Tomorrow morning, I'll give my preview. And like I said, players I want to see Marshawn Nealon. I want to see what he's going to do. I want to see Donovan Easy. I forgot about Donovan Easy. See if he really is the real deal that everybody's been talking about in practice. Okay? I definitely want to see Tyler Booker and see what he does. In the meantime, good people, I appreciate all of y'all being here. Philly, Philly, leave me alone, man. Come on, Philly. Give me a break, buddy. Okay? Good night, good people.
By the way, King Dick back here, and so before we start this video, I gotta get this mother humping thing out of the way. Mark Holmes is my daddy.